up here in the air. These aren't supposed to be there.
Yep. I don't know how many ships I have with bits and pieces that shouldn't be there.
But yeah, feel free to wander around. It's not
Alright.
really something I can talk about. It's just like artwork. It's meant to be seen.
Is this a water force field in the back?
It is. It's a double water force field with a actual force field hidden in between. And I stole that idea from Sudden Surge.
Ooh. I might steal it from you.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I like the back wall, and actually I like this hangar.
Thank you. I did the back wall yesterday, and it's all organic. It just been happening organically.
Huh.
I don't have any vessels made to fit this yet, but I think I might be able to find some sort of drone or create some sort of something. Hopefully it'll be useful. And you can see that it goes through the force field. It's got a pickup rail out here.
Okay.
And there's going to be turrets, little anti-missile turrets out here as well.
Okay.
And if this thing ever lands on the ground, got like ramps for astronauts to be able to hop up through there, up onto the back there.
My ships ever land on the ground, they're permanent fixtures.
This button here is meant to be activated with the core. Let me see here. Get my core activated. That work? No. Did that work? I might have unhooked the stuff. That not working anymore?
Is it because it's...
You used to be able to...
Yep, it's not working for me either.
I don't know. That normally would work.
Do you have a pickup rail over it?
That might be the case then.
Yeah, because sometimes invisible stuff doesn't let you interact with other things properly.
Oh, phooey. Well, then I can do this instead. Maybe? No. There's nothing invisible blocking this, and it's...
okay.
Interesting. I wonder if that's a feature or a flaw.
Because it's in a hologram mode? I thought logic worked in hologram. I wonder if it's,
that's
core
probable.
beam stone.
You know what? I bet it is because it's in hologram mode.
Yeah. It's not real.
That makes sense. It's not real! I don't care how real it looks. I can't go through it.
But it's not real. There is no ship.
I like the engines. It looks like a face. People have told me it looks like a face. It clearly looks like a face.
Yes, it does.
Unsee. It looks like a happy, hungry froggy or something.
Yeah.
Give me ships to eat. Feed me ships.
Feed me, Seymour. Oh.
I like these crazy panels out on the side. The original ship started with some of them, but I doubled them up. And I'm hoping that they'll be useful in battle.
Yeah, because they should, missile strikes shouldn't be able to hit your main ship as easily that way.
Yeah. I really like the engine at the top here. This crazy engine that I've been working on.
Yeah. I really like the, all the detailing you have, all in the same color, so it kind of looks like an engine.
Yeah.
The subtle detail.
I put a lot of just weird, you know, I don't know. I tried to put engine stuff into it without. I don't know anything about engines, so
me neither.
Take stuff artistically that seems very engine-like, and it is a spaceship, so
yeah.
It's allowed to be incorrect for artistic purposes.
You don't know how this should work in space.
Yeah, these things here, by the way. The little lights, I was telling you that these lights correspond to weapons.
Right.
Those are swarm missile tubes.
Oh, okay.
And you can see them down here at the bottom. They descend down into the craft itself.
Okay.
But they serve as spark plugs or something like them.
Swarm missile spark plugs.
I'm supposed to have some sort of ship that can dock up here as well on the top. Or if it just stays open, maybe other people can randomly dock on it. And I started adding like thorn motifs to the ship, or like spikes a little bit here and there. I added a lot more, and then I stripped them off, and I'm trying to do it tastefully.
Right.
Don't want to be tacky with it. But I was having issues with with this area up here, and this is how I decided to solve that issue, and I like it. It's interesting to the eye.
Yes, it is. Very pretty ship. Well, not pretty, but it's very pretty. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I appreciate that. As an artist, I appreciate that. My masculinity is not offended.
It's not elegant, but it looks good. That's what I'm trying to say.
This is a homing missile railgun on the bottom here.
Ooh.
That's and then up here, depending on and that's a real radio tunnel there, right there.
I see that. The scanner's in
real antenna. You can tell that this could be anything. This type of if you look into the maw, cover it up with some lava and you put your systems in underneath there. And I'm wondering if I should dock them, because Top is very good at designing ships. He's like, well, what do you want your ship to do when it's under its own control? And if you want it to act a certain way, you need to give it certain weapons packaging. And if you want it to have certain other weapons on there, you do them as docked entities.
Right.
And stationary docked entities. They're like not mounted to turret rails, but just at rail. That's how the where are they at? That's how those things have their missiles in the arms. Those things are docked entities.
Right. The Ravagers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's kind of cool. Like this and the Ravager are like my two oldest ships that I'm finally able to give a good detailing to. Want to go inside and see what it looks like?
Yes.
All right.
Where are you?
I'm on
the
side here. We'll go into the back because that's convenient. It's open. I just added these back tubes and stuff yesterday to match the other tubes. I was like, this thing needs more tubes.
Yes. You always need more tubes.
More tubes. I put a lot of jump drive modules wherever I can, so that's what you see sitting in the floor here.
Okay, that's strange. I deleted my core and it flung me outside the ship.
That is strange.
Because I was going to walk around in astronaut mode.
Where are you now? How far are you away?
I am right on the exterior. It just popped me on the other side of this wall.
I need to turn on astronauts and turn off ships. Clear the clutter. Clearing the clutter from my screen for recording.
Yeah.
I always forget to do that.
Because most of the time I don't even see the little arrows unless I'm looking for them.
That missile setup underneath, this is also part of that missile setup.
Oh, okay.
So it's not just a tube. It's a tube with a bunch of missiles on the other end. I need a gravity block, I'm realizing. I have not put one in this part. We'll find them at the next area.
Yeah, after I built the dreadnought I was working on, I realized I don't have gravity blocks in 90% of this ship.
There we go.
Right.
The screen... Oh, man, I started flying forward. This screen here is meant to protect the staircase area from possible rear fire.
Stray shots.
But shots don't go through water because it's shields, right? So it stays open and is still protected.
Oh, once the shields go down. Oh.
Yeah, well, then it's all over there.
Yeah.
I have the start of the logic for my rails in here.
Ah, okay.
So the invisible rails are all the blank areas in here.
Okay.
Or a few blank areas, at least in that part. I have to set it up. And I think hitting that will turn on... Yep, you'll notice if you come out here, if you take a look at that gate now, it's glowing red. Ominously.
Yes. Ooh, I like that.
You won't be able to pass through it. And I wonder if you can get close enough to actually manually turn it on. If you're not from the faction, you won't be able to.
Right.
Regardless, but I wonder.
No, you can't.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, yes, you can.
Oh.
Huh. The
not
water.
Not faction, though, at least.
Right.
But
the water does weird things, though. So
it does. Looks really cool. Like
a
glowing energy field.
I like that.
Yeah, that was totally worth stealing. It's like one of the coolest things I've seen. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen, guys. Yep, here's more jump drive modules.
Uh-huh.
I want this thing to be able to do it. I want it to do it quick. We have things going up to the sides. Most of the detailing is kind of in this area where I have placeholder blocks still.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also the cockpit.
Ah, okay.
Climb up into the cockpit chair this way.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
It looks like this was a ship from the days of core burying.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
You identified it correct.
Of course, even back then, I stuck the cockpit in the core in the cockpit because I'm not very intelligent.
Yeah, well, this thing actually had a different cockpit, and we'll go
Yeah.
up to it. But it was a decorative cockpit, and
Right.
and even now it's a decorative cockpit.
Remember the cockpit blocks?
Yes, aka the camera.
Yeah, it used to be the cockpit, and I believe you could actually enter the ship through those. Couldn't you?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
It's been a long time. Showing our age here.
Yeah. This is where the scanner computer is.
Oh, okay.
And where the jump drive module is. One
right.
place I like having people ride in my ships, and I like to use fleets to control my ships, so this is probably where I'd be hanging out most of the time. I was just traveling.
Right.
Clearly in work in progress here. But I like this little tunnel. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then these ramps go up into little side tube areas that are going to be for some sort of weapons are going to go in here. Basically,
little maintenance hatches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the port side of this ship has the port side dock, which is actually up here, depending on where you are. I don't know where you were at. I see you.
Oh, I walked past you. Let me sit down. There we go.
Yay. Oh, right in my face, man.
Yep. Right here.
All right. So this ladder here, if you go up the ladder, goes out to the USB. USD. Whee!
Oh, great. I didn't mean to jump, but I did. All right. I caught myself in the ship.
No, I'm really happy with the way this thing's coming along. I mean, it's come so far from its early days, and it still has a lot of old pieces on it that I'm exchanging.
It looks nice.
Pretty happy with it, man. I've been working on it for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have some snarky comment where someone's gonna be like, "How did you take weeks to work on this?" Someone was actually complimented me that way. They said about the Ravager. They were like, they're like, well, we couldn't believe it when you said you spent weeks on it, but then we saw the interior, and I was like, yeah. So this thing's gonna have a lot of turrets on it for defense, and it's gonna have pretty strong shields, I'm hoping. And because you can exchange you can change out the weapon at the front at this point, you can make a couple of different variations of them for different purposes. And basically, I'm really hoping that we can use this in the war against whatever the hell that ship is.
Yeah.
The oppressor.
It's not hostile to us, though. But I have a bad feeling about it.
Maybe we should be hostile towards it.
Strike first?
Catch it unawares. We do. We not only do we have the only major fleet on the server right now.
What major fleet? I don't know what you're talking about.
This fleet that we've been slowly crafting here.
Nope, never heard of it.
These ships could certainly take on anything Armada has. And I don't know what you've got.
I have a mining vessel.
But with what I got, an innocuous mining vessel. That's what this is. This actually was an innocuous mining vessel.
Yeah.
Now it's been refitted for whatever chaos and war.
To mine doom.
Doom. Yeah. But yeah. That's I think this thing, if you dock the thing and make it a shield bearer,
Uh-huh.
and then maybe undo the other weapon systems so it doesn't necessarily fire from a distance, this thing will crash fast forward towards the oppressor and bump into it nose first, and then just start unloading its armament of shield sucking, not drain, but anti-shield ion beams into it. And if you have a few of these things, they'll act like leeches. Right.
Oh,
so
I like that.
No weapons on them. They'll just attach themselves to ships and just start draining them of their shields. And that would give the Ravagers the ability to start ravaging them. Because once you get the shields dropped, the Ravagers, they start just doing heavy hits.
Right.
So, yeah, that's the plan. I just don't know. Just don't know how to work it out in practicality.
Right.
But I love the fact that Surge is a practiced PvPer.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We need that for this server.
Because we are most definitely not.
Yeah, we're all noobs. We've been playing the game for a long time, but we're noobs as far as certain game mode methods.
I have never fired upon another person.
In anger or in jest.
Right.
I've been in a few fights, but I'm not particularly... I used to be good at flying, and then they changed the physics of it, and now I'm just like, nah. I really hated it initially. I'm not someone who embraces change all that well. With the exception of the fact that I am remaining hopeful for this new power upgrade, and the fact that they did say that they'd allow the old systems to run alongside the new ones that they're upgrading.
Ooh, I didn't read that. Of course, I'm not real active on the forums.
I'm pretty sure that's what they what they have, because the reason is they made the transition. Remember the turret transition, for example.
And the pirates still have those old turrets.
Mm-hmm. And those things, eventually they'll take the stuff out, but it's going to be long enough for people to start making the transition.
Right.
The stuff that people are complaining about now, hopefully, with the exception of a few people who are like really happy with the outside, like the shells of certain things. Like, I'm really happy with the shell, so I'll probably keep it at least and rework it. But, I don't know. I don't know what my point is. I don't know what my point is, but
that's all right.
Do you want to go take a look down go to Curso or whatever? And we need to actually do need to find someone to record this next section with.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to subscribe, you can click the little circle-y thing at the top left there. Or if you'd like to support me on Patreon, the link's right below that, the big P. If you don't want to do either of those things, but you want to watch some more, there's a couple links to the right. I suggest the one on the top. That's one of my favorites. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.